Apostrophes can also be used to show letters that have been omitted. Here's its, which really translates to it is. We've left out the I here in its. O'clock means of the clock. So we've left out a lot of letters in this one. The F is not showing and neither is the the. So 4 letters were taken out and an apostrophe put in. So if you said 4 o'clock, what you're really saying is 4 of the clock. O'clock is much easier, don't you think? I'll translates to I will. We're, we are. Shouldn't, should not. There are many, many more contractions that you will, that you use in your writing and in your speaking. In all cases, the apostrophe shows where letters have been omitted. I do want to point out one thing to you, though. Here's its. That does look a lot like the possession the ownership that we talked about before. If you're dealing with some of those personal pronouns like his or hers, something like that, you're not going to use the apostrophe S to show ownership. Those are just plain. You never have an apostrophe in hers or his. Those are already possessive pronouns. The confusion is with the contraction and the possessive pronoun its. When you see the contraction, when you see the apostrophe in this contraction, it means it is. So you can test yourself. If you are writing along and you say, its wheel, the wagon lost its wheel. If you have the apostrophe, knowing that's a contraction, you could say, the wagon lost it is wheel. Oh, it must be the other one. If you're trying to write numbers or letters into a sentence, for example, Mississippi is spelled using 4 I's, 4 S's, 2 P's, and 1 capital M. In this particular case, we have the I's and the S's and the P's all with an apostrophe S. And I have used italics on these words too to make the Mississippi, the I's, the S's, the P's stand out. You could put quotation marks around these as well, but boy, that would be really difficult to understand because apostrophes are used within the letters itself. So if these had quotation marks around and the apostrophes, it would be very confusing. So at this point, you could use another type of font to show italics, to show which words you want to emphasize instead of using the quotation marks. That's where I'm reminding you that some of these punctuation marks have dual meanings, have dual jobs. So you can pick and choose for clarity's sake. If you're going to put in nines in a sentence, you can use it with the apostrophe. Here's another example. Dates, 1900s, perhaps. In the 1900s, the clothing looked different than it does today. This is also acceptable without the apostrophe. So you have your choice, really, of putting the apostrophe in or leaving it out. But remember, we're going for clarity. Plus, you're going to have to comply with whoever is in charge, your boss, your teacher. If they want it, if that person wants it with the apostrophe in there, then that's how you're going to get your points. If you get to decide, those are acceptable either way.